What up? We here now. Hey, I'm Moedotj, and welcome to my channel. And this is the recap of the Shy episode 6. But before we go any further, shout out to the notification gang. And if you're new to the channel and you like my content, please hit your subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you get something every time I upload. Now, if you remember last week, we thought Keisha was gonna get out, but she didn't. So let's just jump right into it. You know me, I'm not gonna hold you up. Let's go. Episode 6, The Shy. So today is a special, not so special day. The special thing is Kev's birthday. The unspecial thing is now Keisha now has handcuffs on and she's chained to the bed. Now when the guy comes in, he snaps his fingers, she pretty much has to get off the bed. But while she's doing all this, she's thinking about her brother and what they did every year for her birthday. They would go to a little diner and she would buy him breakfast and everything. Kevin loved pancakes. So if you can see the birthday card has pancakes on it because that's what Kevin loved. So she would always go buy him a breakfast from there and they would always eat. He'd always order pancakes. But this year, well last year, she got him a present and it was pretty much a photo album of Kevin when he was younger, her and Kevin when they were younger, but it was in their dad's stuff. So Kev was like, he's very grateful that this is what his sister got because he hasn't seen these pictures in years. So he's real grateful about that. And like I said, the bad thing is Keisha's still locked up, and this guy's a real creepy dude. Like he got her on the floor in between his legs, like touching on her, like on her shoulders and stuff, talking to her. The dude's a weird. He's a weirdo. That's all I can say about this dude. So we're gonna see how this turns out for Keisha. The night of the blackout, if you remember, while Ronnie was walking, he heard some screams and he's seen the house that it came from in the general direction. So he ends up walking to the house the next day. He knocks on the door and he's like, "Hey man, did you hear some screaming?" And the guy that lives there is like, "Nah, I ain't hear anything. You know what I'm saying? My wife did, but we hear all kinds of screaming and shooting." So Ronnie's pretty much trying to get in the house to see if it is Keisha, because that's his mission now to find Keisha. So he tells the guy, "Hey, let me use your restroom because I don't have a house or anything." He goes in and he hears like it sounds like screaming through the vent. So he's listening. He runs back downstairs. When he gets downstairs, he's asking the guy that lives there, "Hey, have you heard anything? Are you hearing that?" He looks in the kitchen. As you can see, there's a kettle and it was screaming. So the guy was like, "Nah, you must be hearing things because all I hear is the kettle." The whole time he turned up the TV so you couldn't hear Keisha in the basement screaming. Turns out this is the track coach. People were saying they didn't know who it was, but this guy has all kinds of awards, track medals, trophies sitting there. He was going to hit Ronnie in the head if he thought that Ronnie knew Keisha was there. So that didn't work out like Ronnie thought he would, but I'm sure Ronnie's suspicious about this house. Nina and Dre are in their living room, putting together a gift for Kevin. And Dre's pretty much like, "I'm gonna get him some cologne because he got a little girlfriend, Gemma now. I can't have him walking around musty." Remember, young men, always stay fresh. Nice cologne to get you where you need to be. But pretty much Kevin comes out, he's like, "Oh man, he's grateful." He's like, "Y'all didn't forget." They're like, "Nah, we never forget that. But why don't you come home tonight and celebrate, your birthday with me and Dre?" And Kevin's like, "Man, I already got a plan with, Jake and Papa in there." So they're like, "Man, you can see them anytime. Just come back here." When Kev leaves, Dre tells Nina, like, "Hey, don't worry about it. He'll be back. I told Jake and, Papa, hey, we're going to have a surprise party. Y'all keep him out. And then we're going to have him come back to the house." So everybody's going to be gathered at the house for the party. Nina's pretty much wants him to come back to the house because as of right now, she doesn't know where Keisha is. She doesn't want nothing to happen to her son also. So she's like, "Man, come back to the house. Party with us, man. Be here. You can be safe and we'll have a good time." Like I said, young Kev got him a girl now. So for his birthday at this moment, he's, him and Gemma, they went skating. They in there, they got the music playing. I ain't that good of a skater, but if I was, I'd be in there, "Go Kev, go Kev." But I can't skate. So, they skating around. They take a little break. You know what I'm saying? And then she's like, "Man, I can go get you some food or whatever." And he's like, Kev's like, "Nah, I got Jake and them coming up here, man. I'm gonna save my, my appetite for this evening." But he doesn't know that's a, surprise party. So Jim was like, "All right, well, cool. Since they gonna head up here to come skating, is it cool if I text all my girls and tell them to come?" Long story short, Kev like, "Man, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I text Jake. I don't know where he is, but shoot, you got some friends? Hey, bring them through, man. Let's get this party started." Like I said, man, this coach, he's a real weird doe. This guy, like, He's super creepy. So he said he's always had a crush on Keisha. So it's like, man, come on, dog. You too old for all that, man. That's just disgusting, you know? But he starts giving her a story of how he used to be infatuated with this young lady. He always wanted her, but she didn't want him. She wanted to play her on a football team. She ends up stop talking to him. She goes and talks to the football player. She got long hair, looks good. He said once she got with the football player, she started wearing shorter skirts, and then one thing led to another. Then she started giving out to everybody in the neighborhood. So this creep coach, that's what I'm gonna call him, the creep coach, he talking about, oh, you know, I can save you from going that route. And he starts cutting her hair off because the long hair triggers him thinking about him getting turned down. Like, man, if you get shot down, man, you just got to keep it moving, bro. But you can't be out here kidnapping women. So he's over here cutting her hair to make it short and pretty much saying, hey, I'm going to save you. I'm going to make sure you're clean, you know, so you don't go down that route that the girl that he wanted to talk to went down. Man, this is just some sickening stuff. Jake goes to Trigg's house and they're in there talking, and Trigg's pretty much like, hey, man, Reg said he had some money laying around, about $50,000. And Jake's like, 50,000? Man, Reg ain't had no money. Reg was always broke. And Trigg's like, nah, man. He said he had some money laying around for an emergency. Me trying to get custody of you is an emergency. I need that $50,000. Jake's like, nah, man, there wasn't no money, man. He's broke. And you ain't got no money because you in Reg's old trap house. But he's like, pretty much like, nah. I know there's some money, man. We need to find that. Then the TV, you can hear it in the background as a lady talking. He tells her to turn it up. At the same time, Mr. Otis Douda is watching it too. And this turns out that this is Otis's mom on TV talking about Otis isn't a good candidate to run for mayor. He had 3 bad businesses that went under. He's just unstable. We can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't depend on him to run for mayor. So pretty much his mom, his own mom, gave a bid to the candidate that he's running against. And of course, his wife is like, oh man, your mom, man, she got to cut this out. She's a B. Otis is like, man, it's still my mom. You know, you still got to be respectful. It's still my mom. But he pretty much tells her like, hey, look, that's my mom. I'm not gonna say anything against my mom. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just not gonna respond to this. Hey, and before you leave here, don't be engaged in none of that BS. Like, leave that stuff alone, man. It'll die out. Like, I don't want nothing to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to do with defamation of my mom. She can say what she want about me, but I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying, throw my mom out there like that. And of course, his wife gets mad about that. She don't like that at all. She want to say something. My babe Tiffany got to go to the dispensary and re-up on some of that weed, you know what I'm saying, to take it around the block and serve the junkies. Nah. So pretty much she got medical weed. She goes in, she's trying to, you know what I'm saying, re-up on her order that she got. The strain of weed that she wants is out. So she's like, all right, let me try something else. Whole time Emmett's acting a fool, looking at all the weed, dropping it and stuff. So he goes up front and is like, hey, can you cut Tiffany a discount? She's doing all this work for y'all and bringing in so much money. Security ends up snatching him up like, hey, you need to calm down. He's like, man, I just want to talk to, you know what I'm saying, let me talk to the owner and the manager because I want to, you know what I'm saying, we selling so much weed. I want to try to cut a deal. Turns out the owner of it is who else but Brandon's cousin. Remember Brandon's cousin got him the van, you know what I'm saying, had the dreads, you know what I'm saying, helping him out. He now owns the dispensary. So security lets him go. Emmett goes back there and he's talking to the cousin and everything. He's like, yeah, well, you know, this weed that you got is pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's do this. We'll go ahead and put in an order of what we want, but you'll let Tiffany sell your new strain at a higher, you know what I'm saying, at a higher price, you know what I'm saying, to elite customers. And he's like, I don't know about this, man. It seems like you're trying to hustle me. Emma's like, nah, man, like, this is going to work. Like, we move a lot of stuff, and you just give us a little discount. We sell your strain of weed at a premium, and we all win. So he's like doing the math, blah, blah, blah. 3 plus 3 is 39, plus 1, carry to 6. If I get this dude some weed now, I don't know, man. He might not come back. All right, cool. We'll do that. So as they leave, Tiffany mad at Emmett, like, man, stop trying to make everything a business, man. But Emmett's like, man, I'm the hustler, baby. I'm the hustler. My boy Papa, you know what I'm saying? He's going to pick up the birthday cake for the surprise party for Miss Nina. He's like, man, I'm going to go get this cake. Me and my girl, you know what I'm saying? Pick this thing up. We're going to head out to the birthday party and we're going to chill. But, you know, his little boo thing, she ain't trying to be out in the public, you know what I'm saying? As far as, like, being intimate. No PDA, none of that. No holding hands. And Papa's like, man, I want to go public. And she's like, I don't want everybody in our business to have their opinions. And I mean, it makes sense. A lot of people do that. Like, there's no point for everybody knowing who you're involved with. That's between you two. But they get to the counter and they pick up a cake. As you can see here, it's dropped. But the whole deal before that is Papa was trying to pick up the cake. And when he opened up the cake, it didn't say happy birthday, Kevin. It said like happy birthday, Kevion. They spelled Kevin with a Y-O-N. So Papa was like, man, what is this, man? Y'all gotta fix it. So all they did was take out the Y. They took out the Y and the O and just put like a little squiggly E in the I. But it turns out they end up dropping the cake because he trying to hold the girl hand. So they just leave the cake on the road, man. My bad, Kev. There ain't gonna be no cake tonight for that birthday party, bro. Tiff and Emmy, they pull up on one of Tiff's customers and she ain't got the money for it. She ain't got the money for it. You can see my eyes. I got the money for it, but what I'm saying, she ain't got the money for it. But she's like, look, I'll take I'll take my supply of weed from y'all, and then I'll give y'all a reading, a tarot reading. You know what I'm saying? Like, not reading the palm. I'm gonna do the flipping the cards. So she's doing that. The whole time, Emma's like, man, I don't like this, man. I'd rather take the money than get a reading. So she flips over a couple cards, and pretty much to sum it up, Tiffany flipped over a card and was like, your love is gonna be tested. You love hard, but it's gonna be tested. Emma's like, yeah, I do love hard. But then there was like, man, it's gonna be tested because something might happen. Emma's like, man, how you gonna blame me for something I ain't done yet? So he pretty much like, man, this thing is one sided. He picks a card and it's pretty much saying, hey, man, you gonna mess around with somebody because one woman ain't enough for you. So he's arguing with Tiffany when they leave, like, hey, man, you my only one, but like I ain't gonna never cheat on you. You only one, which is foreshadowing. I already think something's gonna happen with him and Dominique, man. But he's like, hey, look, Tiff, let's get this money together. I could be like your manager or something, baby. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Come work for your boy. Let me slide out with you on these servers. You know what I'm saying? What is the first thing Douda told Miss Perry before she left? Do not engage in the BS. What's the first thing she does? Engage in the BS. She goes home. She calls up Otis's mom like, hey, come through. You know what I'm saying? I got to talk to you. Listen here, Miss Otis. Look, you ain't going to say nothing else about my husband no more, all right? Here's $10,000. Mama Perry like, 10,000, that ain't enough. She put out another 10. She pretty much paid her $20,000 to shut it up and sign the NDA. So pretty much, hey, don't say nothing else about Douda, nothing else. Look, just get out of here. And she's like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? You know I got this money. And guess who shows up? Douda's like, hey, get the hell out of my house. And he looks at Rosalind like, I just told you not to do nothing stupid. And look at you. You done gave her $20,000 cash out of my pockets. Kevin and Gemma go to his favorite spot, you know what I'm saying? So he goes in there, he starts getting ready to order his food and stuff. They kiss and it's all going good now, you know what I'm saying? Everything good. The lady comes over like, y'all straight? Kevin's like, yeah, we good. So Gemma gives him presents. She gave him a MacBook. Like, I'm like, dang, okay. She gave him a MacBook. Last girl I dated, I think she bought me a Bluetooth speaker. It's like $180. She got him a MacBook, at least 1,200, 1,100. But Kev like, all right, cool, but who told the girls about my sister missing? And Jim was like, oh, my bad. My parents must have talked about it and someone told somebody else's parent. I'm sorry about that. So Kev starts flipping out like, hey, man, you can't be buying me gifts. I didn't want anyone to know about my sister missing. You know what I'm saying? Just my community. We wanted to find her. And he started tripping out like, you can't buy gifts to make up for you messing up. Like, that ain't going to cut it. He gets mad and he walks out. He left that MacBook. If I was in there, I'd be like, hey, sir, you left your MacBook. But yeah, Kev got up out of there, man. He wasn't feeling it. And I mean, I feel sorry for Gemma because she didn't do it out of like no ill will towards him. You know what I'm saying? She actually cares about Kevin. So he just in that, you know what I'm saying, like just that emotional state because his sister's missing. But I can see both sides, but neither one of them are really wrong. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Kev did trip out a little too much. So Reg wasn't lying. Earlier in the day, after they left Trig's house, they went to go do some hooping and stuff, and they pretty much Trig was like, "Hey man, I'm not gonna be your punching bag. So if you feel like you want to hit me, go ahead hit me." So he hits him, and he's like, "Hey, like let's get that off our chest." You know what I'm saying? He looks over, there's a black car. Later on in the evening, they go to this abandoned house. And this is another one of Reg's properties. Jake said they go through a window. They're looking around. Trig ends up finding like a hollow spot in the wall. He kicks through it, and lo and behold, there's a bag of money, 50 bands. I'm talking about we cashing out now. So he going through it, and he hears something like, "Who is that?" So they kind of get against the wall, and the man comes through, and then Trig whoops his ass. I'm talking pow, pow, pow. He on the ground, sleep. Jake like, "Hey man, he worked for Douda," and he's like, "Yeah man, they've been following us all day." So Jake was like, "Man, what's going on?" He's like, "Man, they not gonna do nothing as long, you know what I'm saying, they need you alive." So he's like, "You pretty much brought me along with you so you wouldn't get killed?" And Trick is like, "Yeah man, but look, I'm looking out for you too. We got this money. I'm trying to get you away from all this stuff that dude is out here doing, man. Like, hey, just stick with me, bruh." Earlier in the day, Ronnie got his grandma together, you know what I'm saying? They were gonna step out. And they went to this old club. When they get in there, everybody's like, "Okay, what's up, grandma? You know what I'm saying? You an OG, you know what I'm saying?" So she got pictures in there from when she was younger. She used to dance and stuff in there, you know what I'm saying? Formal dancing, not no stripping, none of that y'all thinking. So she's looking at it. She's like, "Oh yeah, I remember this place. I really miss this." But it turns out they turned it into like a strip club, like a gentleman's club, like men strippers, or it could have just been artists up there just dancing. I don't know what you want to call it, but everybody's in there having a good time. She's like, "Oh, we need to stay in here." But after she watches all that, they end up sitting down and she's telling them stories about how she opened up this club. No one thought she would be able to open this club and actually run it. And members from the Black Panther Party, a lot of black, like famous people, movie stars, they used to come in and out of that. But no one was a movie star or celebrity when they came in. They were just a normal person. Like everybody in there was a community. So Ronnie was like, "Dang, I didn't know all that about my grandma." He takes her back to her, you know what I'm saying, to her home. He gets her in the bed, takes her shoes off, and she's like, "Man, my feet are cold." By the time he covers it up, looks like Ronnie's grandmother passed out and passed away. So he's sitting there. I know on his head he's thinking, "I definitely got to find this girl Keisha now because I told my grandma, like, I'm still a hero. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get this done." Dang, it's always sucks to lose one, man. Every episode seems like we losing somebody, man. So while Keisha is locked up, she asked the coach for one wish. "Creepy coach, one wish, please. Can I just call my brother? It's his birthday. Can I call my brother?" So he calls Kev on private. She's not allowed to talk. So Kev's looking at her like, "Hello? Hello?" But no one's saying anything. And then he just hangs up. And they show Keisha crying because it's like, at least she heard her brother. Now, he doesn't know that this is his sister on the phone, but this is still like a sign for her, like, "Hey, I'm alive," even though he doesn't know that it's a sign from her. He goes into the house. The surprise party is on. Like, everybody's having a good time. They surprise him. He's like, "Man, y'all remembered I love pancakes." So they bring out pancakes. Says, look, Papa in the corner, he dropped the cake. So they put candles in the pancakes, and I'm only assuming that his one wish is that, hey, we found my sister, because she's the one that always took him to get pancakes, man. Like, dang. It might be another episode or two before we even get a chance to get Keisha out, man. All right, man. Now that's episode 6. Thank you for watching. But before we go anywhere, I need to know one thing. What do you think is going to happen between Douda and Trig, since he got the money now and he probably killed the guy that was following him? Comment below. Let me know what you think. But hey, that's episode 6 of The Shy. Thank you for watching. I'm Moedotj. I'm on that grind to 2,000 subscribers, so every subscriber counts. Thank you for watching. Turn on your notifications. Like, comment, share. Hey, be here next week for episode 7. I'm Moedotj. Thanks for watching.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.